UFC 323 just happened where Piotr Yan defeated Merab via unanimous 50-45 decision dominantly. And I'm going to review the card. First off, I'm just going to give my general thoughts. Card of the year. Already, don't care. The co-main, I'm going to talk more about it when I get to it, but the co-main kind of ruined the whole card. Also, a lot of stoppages that I disagree with. I did awful on picks, 7 and 13. Uh, well, there was 14 fights, but I'll tell you what. We'll find out when where the one fight came from. Uh, but let's just start. So Myron Santos defeats Muhammad Naimov via KO at round 3. So whole fight, Myron Santos and Muhammad Naimov kind of clinching up against each other. Not getting too much distance, kind of staying even. I think I had it 1-1 going into the third. Myron Santos won in the second. Naimov holding him against the cage for the first, hitting that. Santos doing some more damage, getting more separation in the second. Third round, he finally separates for a decent enough time. He goes, I think he's orthodox, so he goes 1-2 kind of through his hook, knocks him out pretty badly. At the start of round 3, nasty knockout from Santos. I thought he could take it to a decision, almost got it right. But Santos with a knockout, late rounds, boom. I'm thinking it's about to be a clean sweep for me. Guess what? Boom. Mansur Abdulmalik basically just bullies Antonio Tricoli, pushes him around, shoves him in a locker, grabs his glasses, puts it above his head. Even though he's shorter than Antonio Tricoli, he probably did. He did this and kept the glasses out of reach. Put his hand on his head, had him running against it, wedged him, gave him a swirly, and then to finish it off, he standing guillotined him in round 1. I was saying this. Tricoli is a punching bag. He's just a walking punching bag. I thought he'd get knocked down in the second, but no. Mansur Abdulmalik just basically bullies him the whole round, guillotines him like Tresean Gore. You have to cut him from the UFC. He's done nothing. He's only here because he dates Mackenzie Dern. Does nothing. Mansur Abdulmalik, another can that he crushed. Give him someone good. What is this, middleweight? Give him a... What was that guy? Uh, who was the guy that beat Eric McConaughey at UFC 322? Man, what is his name? I forgot. Uh, Sirsaikayev. Bison Sirsaikayev. Mansur Abdulmalik, Bison Sirsaikayev. Run it, dude. That's a sick fight. All right. Up next, Iwo Baranuski defeats Ibo Aslan KO. A minute and a half, barely. This was a sick fight. They both just swing. I don't know how else to break this down. They swing. Uh, Iwo gets caught early, and I think, Ibo Aslan may just put him away by being a lot more patient, a lot more calm, doesn't overthrow as much. But as soon as he saw that Iwo was wobbled, he went crazy. He was swinging from the hip, no defensive thought in his mind, and he got caught. I think they dropped each other like 3 times each, and then Iwo Baranuski just had the better recovery, had the better. Uh, he just slightly dipped out of the way of a hook, hit him with his own hook, dropped him, put him away. Uh, Not much else to say. I mean, Iwo Baranuski, good prospect, not the best in terms of technicality, but for pure like a light heavyweight who's just a ball of muscle and mass, and who can throw some hands and isn't shy, isn't gun shy. Iwo Baranuski is that guy. Ivo Aslan, it sucks. He was trying to have a fun fight, got put away in the first. You may have to cut him. He's like what 0-3 now. I feel bad. I don't know what else to do with him. Maybe give him one more chance, but I'm not sure. But yeah, so I'm thinking I'm 3 for 3. Perfectly called Iwo Baranuski. Cha-ching, dude. Let's go. Up next, the sacrificial lamb that was Edson Barboza to Jalen Turner. He just bullies him, dude. Edson Barboza was doing good. He was slipping a lot. He was doing what I was thinking, where he'd slip a lot more and be more technically sound than Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner kind of is a little crazy. He's rangier, but he was still having Barboza slipping inside, jabbing, right hook him on the head. And I was almost worried for Turner for a little bit. He took some crazy shots, but he elbows Barboza, and he's so old. He's taking so much damage. It instantly cuts right on his bald head. He stumbled around. Jalen Turner basically does 3 laps around the octagon with Barboza. A little bit of a late stoppage. We'll get over some stoppages later in this card. But yeah, I don't know. I just think I just think it was a little bit late, for my opinion. And Edson Barboza, he's old. He doesn't need to be taking that much damage. It's a prelim fight. I know it's legacy for Barboza and Turner. They're both not legacy, but it's a fun fight. If Barboza wins this, it helps him in his legacy. But he's old. He's done. Let him get out. Jalen Turner, decent win. He's back. I guess he'll stay back. I don't know who he'll fight next at lightweight. Maybe a Chris Duncan, or yeah, Chris Duncan. Maybe Manuel Torres. That could be sick. Jalen Turner, Manuel Torres. Sign me up, dude. Uh, but yeah, I'm thinking I'm on a hot streak right now. Let's keep on going. Boom. Now, Bruno Ferreira, Marvin Vittori. This fight was awful. All finishes up until this one. Vittori, I thought his chin would crack, but Bruno Ferreira, I don't know how bad he is. Maybe it's just that he missed weight by 4 pounds and it wasn't a good camp, but he was over swinging everything. He couldn't land a single good, solid, clean punch. I was thinking, how did this guy knock out RoboCop? How did this guy knock out? How did this guy submit Jackson McVeigh and uh, who's the other guy submitted? Someone else. And then how did he knock out one other person? I forgot. It's crazy. And he almost knocked out Abbas Magomedov. And he was good this fight. He almost lost. I gave Vittori the first, and then Ferreira second and third. Uh, let's go over this. Nothing happened in the first. Very relaxed approach. Ferreira was missing a bunch. Vittori hit him with like a good solid 1-2. He's really good at landing some good 1-2s. And that was basically the whole first round. I gave it to Vittori on damage. Round 2, Ferreira hits Vittori with a good overhand that sends him back, breaks his nose, bloodies him all up. That's basically it. That's the only thing that happened. There's like 3 big moments in this whole fight each round. Round 3, Ferreira's keeping it ahead of him. He's keeping it good. He's beating him up the whole time, bloodying that nose even further, swelling up his eye, just beating him to the punch, like throwing his head down and looping overhands that somehow barely land. But at the end, Marvin does have a little bit of a stand for him. He tries to go for it. He does like a 1-2, wobbles him pretty bad, does a really good counter 1-2, wobbles him bad, but he just doesn't have the push, the drive, the gas to push and maybe get, win that third round. I think if he won that third round, he would have won, because I think most judges had it 29-28. Or if not, he could have gotten a finisher, maybe 10-8'd him or something. Probably not 10-8, but a finish. Or, leave like a final stand, maybe a split decision, maybe a split decision loss, something. But Vittori just doesn't have that in him, dude. So yeah, Ferreira's ranked now. I don't care. It was at catchweight, 189. Middleweight. Give this guy. I'm gonna try and match up people for ranked. Bruno Ferreira. Give him, who's a good middleweight? Cannonier? I think Cannonier can tame this guy. Show him levels. You could give this guy, you know what? Yeah, Bruno Ferreira, Jared Cannonier. I think that's a good fight. So, up next, dude, my first incorrect pick, and now I go on a losing streak. For SCM, Nazem Sadikov. For SCM, just showed levels. He shut down Nazem Sadikov completely, out-grappled him completely in round 1, held his back, took him down instantly. I think it was the whole round. He had like 4 minutes of control time for round 1. Kept his back, then the rear naked choke, did some elbows, not too much damage, just on control. He won round 1. Could have 10-8'd him. Actually, no, I don't think 10-8. I was thinking of another fight. 10-9'd him. Round 2 comes around. Nazem Sadikov saluting, doing a special salute. I don't know why. He does like a hop and then to reset or to wait his way to encroach his way, and he like bam, and like jabs the sky and leaves his hand out. He just looked really weird. I don't know. Maybe he's not used to fighting someone taller and with a reach advantage, and that's why he was so hesitant to get in. But he was getting counter jabbed every time he would go into jab. Ziam would jab back and pop him back and wobble him. He was so much quicker. And then I think Sadikov took him down or something. They end up against the fence with Nazem's back to the fence. He starts to work his way up from a takedown from Ziam. Yep, with a couple seconds left in the round, he thinks it's over. Ziam, bam! About 2 or 3, maybe back of the head elbows. Not too sure. They were pretty close to being back of that. If they weren't, they were on the edge. Drops him face first, and he's probably shelled up, given up. And for about, I'd say, 10 or 15 seconds, Ziam is just hammering on his head, and Herzog is just watching it happen. Herzog's back, by the way, from his weird break ever since the scamming fiasco, or the, what's it called? Not scam. The rigging fights fiasco. He's back. Does awful. He lets Sadikov get bashed in the head for 20, 15 seconds, and then at the end of the round, Sadikov was a little wobbly getting up, so he goes, alright, it's over. Like, such a late stoppage. If you're going to stop a fight, don't have the bell influence if you stop it or not. Be a man, be a ref, and make the decision. Be assertive. That's your point. That's your job. You're the authority figure in there. If you call it off, you call it off with certainty. You don't half call it off. You don't, I'm not sure, I'll just kind of step in. You call it off for good. Sadikov was disputing the call, but I think it was fine. I think he should have stepped in earlier. Like instead of the last bell, instead of at the bell, he could have stepped in at 4:55, 4:50. I don't know. Awful stoppage. Up next, dude. I don't care. I think Silva won, dude. I think Silva won. I think Maycee Barber. She lost round 1. She gave up her back or something. Silva took her down, had her back all of round 1. Gassed her legs out pretty bad by keeping a body triangle, but you couldn't really tell. So Karine Silva wins round 1. Boom, that's good. Maycee Barber, round 2, takes her down. Devastating ground and pound, possibly 10-8. I had it 10-9. But devastating ground and pound. Karine Silva does 2 up kicks, which are legal or something, but she didn't get a point taken away. So I was saying, she's crafty. She knows you get 2 free fouls, so she used them up. Still lost. Lost. The third was kind of a boring decision. Basically, Maycee Barber was kind of outstriking her on the feet. Silva gets her taken down, has like a weird 2-arm in triangle with her own arm trapped in that triangle for the last couple seconds of the round. It comes undone, but she still has control. I rewarded, because there was so little damage done, I rewarded the submission attempt over the damage, but I could see Barber winning. I just thought Silva won. So I am now, from going 5 in a row, I'm now 2 wrong in a row. Guess what? Chris Duncan, my man, pulls it off for me. Alright, Terrence McKinney comes out, flying knees Duncan in the face. I don't think he even noticed. For a second, I thought I was wrong, though. For a split second, I thought I was wrong. But then, Chris Duncan does what I said he does, and he knocks out McChinney. Alright, Terrence McChinney, I told you, he has a pattern. 1 hilarious flatline KO, 2 wins. 1 hilarious flatline KO, 2 wins. It's on a 2-fight winning streak. You know what that means? McChinney is getting chinned. It happens. Duncan stays in, takes a whole bunch of a beating. Terrence McKinney's way quicker. Hit him with 1-2s, hooks, uppercuts. Hit him with the whole shebang. Duncan eats it all. He's stumbling forward into him. Tries to take him down. Doesn't work. And on the break from a clinch, from getting up against the cage, some getting up against the cage from Duncan's takedown, he elbows McKinney, and McKinney just sinks to the floor. Gives up his back. And Duncan is... I would think Duncan was pounding the side of McKinney's head for a minute straight. Not even joking. A minute straight, he was bam, 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 up against the cage. McKinney not fighting back, not throwing a single punch. So they'll stop Moreno Tatsuro Taira with a couple unanswered punches, but McKinney Duncan, we just gotta see this go on. I'm on to you, UFC refs. I'm on to you. All right. Um. So Duncan is trying to finish McKinney. He's so gassed in his arms. He goes, "I literally can't finish him via punches because this ref wants him dead. I'll just darce him." And so he darces him. McKinney doesn't even try and fight. He just mercy taps, I guess. It was a mercy submission, so I really was a KO. But it was a submission, but I counted it as a KO. So bam, back on the win train for me. I had two wrong. Let's get back into it. And then Grant Dawson comes in, ruins my whole day. If I'm being honest, Grant Dawson, first off, enters the fight with like the weirdest step inside stance overhand ever. As soon as he threw that, I thought Dawson's gonna lose. He's gonna get knocked out if he's striking like that. He's awful. Throws overhands with his head waiting in. Uh, no guard, no defensive ability at all. Had some good body kicks, had some good front teeps, had some good leg kicks. But once you get down to it in the nitty gritty, and if he's against someone who can knock him out and he's scared, he's gonna fight like a little baby. And throw overhands, spam overhands, have the worst takedown entries ever. Go for single legs only, some bad double legs, or yeah, he just looked awful. And how is this guy? He's like 23-3 or something. How is he 23-3? He gets a cross uppercut, which to be fair, Manuel Torres hits hard, so I'm okay with him getting dropped to that. But as soon as he hits the floor, he's like this. He's not fighting back. He is shelled up, done, like a baby. Baby Chin Dawson, Glass Charleston, which is crazy. So Manuel Torres, knocks him out in round one. Very patient, I will say. He was very patient, reading Dawson, doing some body shots, and then he let Dawson kind of wade in like the idiot he is, and then just kind of met with him in the pocket and knocked him out, because that's what he does. So yeah. So that's another one wrong. So now I'm not doing too hot. Guess what? Yamblovich Bogdan Yuskov is a draw. Let me break it down. So round one, Ian's doing good, slowing it down. They're both like kicking each other. They're both. I think they only threw jabs this whole fight. That's the only thing I can remember. Jab two. That's all I knew. That's all I can think of that was thrown. So Yan and Bogdan Guskov. Yan's has a good, strong, heavy jab in the first round. Sends Bogdan flying across the cage twice, two or three times. I think he left Anthony Smith, sent him flying across the cage. That's basically all of round one. He outkicked him, outjabbed him, had a good moment. But yeah, lost round one, 10-9, Bogdan Guskov. Round two, I forgot how it even happened, but he jabbed to him, or he just jabbed him, I think. Knocked Blachowicz down, was on him. Heavy elbows from Bogdan Guskov. Respect, dude. Heavy elbows, dangerous ground and pound. He saw my video on what has happened to dominant grappling UFC. He took notes. He went for the finish. He was ground and pounding, elbowing, damaging. He elbowed Yan in the face, and you can see him go, ow, on the floor. So he 10-8s him. So right now it's basically 1-1, or it's 1-2, if you want to think of it that way. And so round three, Jan Blachowicz is kind of fighting with a purpose. He's blitzing in a lot more. He's blitzing in the first round, but kind of more calculated. This time he was just blitzing in, throwing hooks. It wasn't landing too much. Bogdan was just jabbing him on the back foot this whole time, trying to survive, because I think he was gassed from all that work he did in round two. He was on the back foot, just jabbing away at him, low kicking him, and then Yan runs in, right hooks him, left hooks him. He drops with like 10 seconds left. He was down, and then he won in that last 10 seconds by dropping him. Draw. Jan Blachowicz, Bogdan Guskov. It's a draw. So yeah, I don't know what to do with Yan. He's technically on a 4-fight skid. 2 draws to Ankalaev and Bogdan, and then 2 losses to Pereira and Olberg. He's really good at slowing it down. I just thought he wouldn't get caught like he did in round 2. Or if he did get caught, that he'd survive well enough. He'd grapple well enough where he wouldn't get 10-8'd. But he did. He did. So yeah, that's another incorrect pick for me. I am... Oh my goodness. You weren't supposed to see that. But yeah, I'm on a downward spiral because look at this, boom. I did not do good on the main card at all, except for the main co-main. No, just main, not or co-main, not main. I don't think anyone got the main right except Lorenzo Picks, so good for him. But Peyton Talbot defeats Henry Cejudo via round three decision. Uh, Talbot looked good. Cejudo didn't look the best. He was rushing in. A lot of, you know what? After the first round, didn't really level change too much. But it was a war, great fight. Talbot pieced him up all three rounds. Uh, Almost put him away in the first. It landed on a quick 1-2 down the pipe, and Cejudo was bobbleheading around. I can't see, Usman. Kamaru, I can't see. Bobbleheaded. Um, that's about it. I mean, it was just a war. They were both going back and forth, trading shots. Cejudo ended the fight with like a busted up nose and a swollen up eye and all bloodied up. Peyton Talbot looks like how he does right there. Nothing on him, not a mark. He was taking. You know what? I forgot. He took down Cejudo twice in the first. Did a crazy after the first takedown. Insane. But yeah, he took him down in the first. Tried some sweeps in the second. Did it in the third and he ended up on bottom. I thought Cejudo would get it done. I thought he'd have a better. Thought he had better wrestling than a single leg, but I should have taken into account his age and the fact that he is 4'2" and Talbot's 5'6" or whatever. So there's, you know, Cejudo basically fighting a giant, and he can't. If he does a single leg, he can't push it above his head. Because that's just, if he pushes it way above his head, that's just like barely being above Talbot's chest. So it just doesn't matter. But he kept on going to push it up and push him up, topple him over instead of trying to drag it out and push him to the side or kick out his kickstand and topple him over or get a double leg and dunk him. I think he did that once, but I don't know. He didn't look the best. I don't know. I think Talbot's going to be ranked number 10 come Tuesday. Give him Mario Batista. I think that'd be a sick matchup. Batista, I think, could probably win that, dude. I don't know. I think he can be slick enough and put that grappling in. I know we'll say that with everybody, but I think Batista's a lot better at mixing the grappling than Cejudo. He's either all grappling or all striking. Batista can really mix it well. I think Talbot, Batista would be a sick fight. Like, Talbot didn't take too much damage, but he may want some time off. Put on like the April card, or put on the Holloway Oliveira card. That'd be sick. But yeah, for Bogdan and Jan Blachowicz, dude, I think Jan Blachowicz needs to retire. Or he can do one more. I don't know. For Bogdan, I don't know what to do with a draw, so I'm just gonna leave that. For Torres at lightweight, For SCM, but no, I had Torres and Jalen Turner matched up. For SCM deserves a ranked opponent, a low ranked opponent. Give him give for SCM Gamrot. Ooh, that'd be a sick fight for SCM Gamrot. Do that, and do Torres Turner, and then do Duncan. Duncan also does. That's 3 in a row for Duncan. Give him a ranked fight too. Or give him Ludovic Klein for a spot in the rankings or something like that. I don't know. Chris Duncan, Ludovic Klein, I guess. All right, so we go up Moreno. So here is like the weakest stoppage ever. So Moreno, round 1, they're sprawling, they're brawling, they're fighting. Moreno's outboxing Taylor just barely. Taylor shoots a takedown, and Moreno ends up with like a triangle from bottom. That's basically the whole round. That's it. He's just holding that triangle from bottom the whole round. Taylor was doing some body shots, not enough to give him the round, so I had Moreno winning round 1. All right. Round 2, a little bit more for Taylor, a little bit more on the feet, but still not, Moreno's still like out jabbing him, keeping footwork. Taylor shoots a good takedown. Moreno, I think, scrambles out of it, ends up in a weird spot. He ends up on north-south. And instead of out-scrambling that, he went for another submission, and where Tatro whipped around, lashed up the back, got it really good, flattened him out, started ground and pounding. And I thought, okay, Moran's going to get out of here. He's been here before. He can get out of here. He's taking some shots, sure, unanswered, because he's on his back. You have to kind of either choose to guard or choose to move when someone's on your back, uh, ground and pounding you, all right? So I think, like, Moreno was in the process of trying to roll over, get on his side, or do something. They stopped the fight. I think this is awful stoppage. I don't think it should have done anything. I would have liked to see round three because Tatsuro Taira did some heavy scrambling. I don't know too much about his cardio. I know Brandon Rival showed it. It was 3 rounds, so maybe he would have been fine. He would have done the same thing in round three. Maybe would have finished it just a little bit later in round two, but I don't know. It felt robbed. I felt like after Cejudo Talbot, this felt like a robbery. All right, and then this fight happens. Now, right before this, I put out time to sprawl and brawl, baby. And so let's go through the fight. It happens. Pantoja's instantly on Van. Heavy low kick sends Van. He Van does a triple backflip from one low kick from Pantoja. Barely lands on his feet. He's wobbled around. Pantoja's bam, bam, bam. Van hits a sick left hook exit like I said he would. That he's going to be trying to do off of Pantoja's rushes. He hit him with a little counter hook, dip out. And so they're back. They reset. Pantoja throws a head kick. It kind of lands, kind of doesn't, like hits the back of the neck and then rolls up the neck. So it's right here. Van pushes that over, starts walking. Pantoja goes to post, breaks his arm in like the nastiest way possible, or dislocates it or something. Just nasty. Fight's over. Van, I know you didn't really understand what was happening, but let's not be celebrating and hooting and hollering and getting on the cage and piggybacking all this after the man you beat was because he dislocated his arm in round one, 30 seconds in the round, okay? Van, I like you. I'm going to give you another chance. What's crazy is I think Pantoja, I think the UFC have scrubbed Pantoja's name from everything. That's how they acted like. They were like, who's this Pantoja guy? The last champion was Moreno. What are you talking about? That's what they were acting like, dude. They talked to Van. They said, all right, so how do you feel about Tatsuro Taira? It's like, whoa, we're not going to do the Pantoja rematch first? We don't know how bad it is. He may be able to come back, but I feel bad for Pantoja because that was a bad looking. They said it was fine, but that was a bad looking breakage. And he's old, dude. He's like 35. He's a flyweight. That's like a year off or something, or like 6 months off. That's another 6 months for Joshua Van to just get better and Pantoja to get older. So even if they do just immediately run the rematch, I was hoping they do like an interim belt, do Van Tatsuro Taira for an interim belt, build up some hype for the new contender, because if imagine this, it's an interim belt, Van Tatsuro Taira, Van wins against Tatsuro Taira, stuffs all those takedowns, shows takedown defense on the next level, TKOs him up against the fence. It's hype. Everyone's ready. They're like, dude, odds are gonna be closer. It's kind of like the Ciryl Gane and Tom Aspinall thing, except in a different way, and when in a way that Van builds up on someone else instead of building up via Pantoja, because we didn't get to see much. And then if Tatsuro Taira wins, you're like, this guy's legit, dude. He beat Joshua Van. That's not someone you just walk through. He really can submit him, and we need to see how this grappling match between him and, he dealt with Van striking and took him down and submitted him or ground and pounded him or whatever. This is the number one contender for real. And then you have Pantoja come back from his injury and do, the real title fight. But they just gave the belt to Van. They're gonna do Van Tatsuro Taira, Van Taira in Japan or something, or somewhere Asian, maybe in like Abu Dhabi somewhere. I don't know. And Pantoja has been really kicked to the curb. They rolled him out of that arena so quick. It's just disrespectful, dude. Like he's such a cool guy on a run, and it's ruined by a freak accident. But yeah, I got my pick right, so. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Got my pick right. I needed it because I was doing awful. All right, main event. You know what? You know what time it is. Peter Yan defeats Marab via 5 round decision. And let me just say, I had it personally 50-45 dominance throughout the whole round. All right, let me go through. Round one, it's pretty even. Both are exchanging. I don't think Marab shot a single takedown in round one. So Yan, it's pretty even. Yan does, I think, a really good 1-2 from Orthodox. So it's 1-2. His 2 is right hand, which wasn't injured this time. Spans Marab's jaw. Marab had to land some good right hands on Yan, like 2 good bam over the top right hands that hit the side of the head. Only reason I really gave it to Yan, which I can see this going to Marab, but I gave it to Yan because of a cut. He cut Marab on like the eye or something. He actually did shoot in round one, just later. But yeah, he cut Marab. He had him up against. He had Marab had his back up against the fence. It was opened up. So I gave it to Yan because of that cut. It was pretty even besides that, so I gave it to Yan. All right, round two. Round two happens. It's pretty even again. Marab gets some good takedowns, but Yan's getting up. He's staying on a single leg. He's doing a good knee bar. He's twisting out. He's ducking and diving and weaving, and he's doing good at. He's just really quick at keeping his hand like this, and then bam, keeping his hand like this, bam. He's really good at like doing like the 1-inch punch from Bruce Lee, except he'll do it like in a real fight and actually jab Marab's face off. Really good combos. A lot of 1-2 switching stances on the way back, so he doesn't know which way. Keeping that right hand, his power hand, ready to go at all times. Slipping and dipping, dodging and weaving, yanning and vanning. So I had Yan winning round two. Just landing the better shots. Marab landed some shots, but they were all on his guard. He's really good at guarding up, and then as soon as he feels like he's gonna go for a body shot, he'll slip out the way, do a pivot, insane rushing boxing. Marab didn't do anything with the takedown, so I didn't give him really anything for it. We aren't scoring control as much anymore, so I didn't give him anything. All right. Round three. This is when it starts to pick up. All right. Round three. Perfect from Yan. Does everything again. Basically, it's just round two, except he starts. I think he broke Marab's nose. I don't know. I can't tell if that's just how Marab's nose is or if he did break it, but I think he broke Marab's nose in the second or third or something. It's all a blur if I'm being honest. Man, that's a blur. But on round three, Yan does some slipping, ripping, and dipping again. Keeps his guard up. Very good at reversing positions. He shoots his own takedown and takes down Marab in the second or third. Let me check. Just doing some live play-by-play notes. Let's see. It was round two where he broke. I thought he broke his nose, and he. No, that was round three. Round three, he breaks Marab's nose. He shoots his own takedown, dunks him. They get back up to the fence. Marab gets a deep double leg. He picks up Yan over his shoulder, the Henry Cejudo thing. He walks him around the cage. Did nothing with it. As soon as he dunked him down, Yan got right back up. Oh, was it round three? Yeah. Yep. So before that, he dunked Marab on his head. He was in on a deep double leg. Yan was up against the fence. Marab was doing something. He, bam, right on his head. I thought Marab was out for a little bit because he was. I don't know if he might have went out for a couple seconds, but he was. He was deader than disco. Is what I thought, dude. I thought he was deader than disco. He survived it though. So that's round three. Round four. Dude. You can tell he's gassed, but Marab's gassed too because he was doing good leg kicks, doing good body kicks, doing good body work. And round four, he hits the money shot. At the end of a combination, at about halfway in, Yan rips a beautiful body shot on Marab out of nowhere, really quick, right across the stomach. and it whoosh, like a whip crack from Johnny Test. You hear it across the whole thing, and Marab yells like Tom from Tom and Jerry, mid fight. Dude, I thought he might have broken a rib or something from that one body kick. And Marab is doing his thing where he's like dancing kind of to escape. He's like, so he's going around in a circle, and it's really hard to tell when Marab's wobbled or stuff, because even though he does do that dance, it's hard to kind of close distance on him. He like makes it seem like I'm still ready to pounce, pal. Don't you dare do anything. But then Yan wobbles him pretty badly too. In round three, I think he wobbled him pretty badly where he's doing a like in round one. Oh, dude, I forgot. In round one, he wobbled him too. My goodness, it's all coming back to me. Round one, he wobbles him so badly. He's chewing on his mouthpiece. I think he swallowed half his mouthpiece by the time the decision was over. You know he loves to chew on that thing. Uh, but I feel like a whole bunch of times he had Marab just badly bobble hebble, bobble hebble, wobble hebble, wobbling around, cobbling around, toppling around, toppled around, uh, on common ground. Boom. Uh, it was just insane, dude. I don't know. So round four, he does that body kick, does some more body work, slick body hooks. Uh, I kept on telling him like, all right, you're doing this. All right, hit that body hook, and he'll rip it. He'll do like a 1, 2 hook body hook on the way out, and Marab is feeling it each time. You can see him feeling it. Like O'Malley in the fifth round, in the first O'Malley fight, where he's and he's kind of clinch dancing around. He had him doing that like 5 times. Respect to Marab, dude. He can take a beating. Because that's what this fight was. Just Yan putting a whooping on Marab, dude. Dude, he called him a Peyton Talbot and a Shane Gillis relative. Called him Peyton Talbot. He called him Frank Ocean and Shane Gillis relative at the press conference, and then he does this to him, dude. Dude, the disrespect. Uh, and then round five, same thing again. I was worried he'd maybe gas out or something. Marab had a couple tight guillotines in like round three, four, five, where Yan was keeping up against the clinch, and Marab just went for it. Yan kept on shooting his own takedowns. I didn't like that too much, but it worked. It worked. Yan would mix it up, shoot some takedowns on Marab, keep him guessing. Inside low kick, body kicks, whip up a head kick every now and then. Nothing would ever like drop him. Like Marab never got dropped. He was just always wobbling around. Somehow, I don't know how, he went from TKO himself in a ice lake and against Frankie Simone, where he headbutted himself on the canvas floor and knocked himself out into a submission, uh, into being an ensemble. He's like the lower evolution of Marvin Vittori, kind of. Where like he'll get wobbled, but Marvin, you don't even really see him wobbled. Marab, he'll get wobbled, but you'll never see him dropped. All right, not anymore. I don't know what he's done. I don't know what kind of chin doctor he's been to. He's undroppable now. Nothing will drop him, dude. Good shots from Umar, good shots from O'Malley, good shots from Yan. Even body shots don't have him hunched over and give up. He keeps on going. He keeps on trucking. So respect, dude. He kept in there. He kept on showing. Uh, Great respect to Marab. Fight's over. Peter Yan wins. I had it 50-45. There was like a 48-47 or something. I thought you could have even argued for some 10-8s in those later rounds because Yan was just whooping on him, dude. It felt wrong. Dude, it felt disrespectful to see Yan just put a whooping on Marab in rounds 3, 4, and 5. So I think you could argue for a 10-8 personally. I don't know. So it comes around. Yan talks about like respect Marab. I had to fight Marab twice and Sterling twice. It's an amazing team. Respect to them. I'm back with a belt. I don't know if they'll do the Marab rematch personally. Oh yeah, I forgot. I did who to fight for Van. and Pantoja. I think you just run the rematch or do, like I said, Pan Tetsuya Taira while Pantoja recovers, and then you do the winner of Van Tetsuya Taira versus Pantoja. Is what I think you should do to keep it right. Uh, but yeah, and then Marab says, "All respect." Joe Rogan tries to give him an excuse. He goes, "You think fighting 4 times in a year made your weight cut hard and you weak or something?" Okay, Joe. Okay, Joe. I know you like, I know you like him, but come on. And Marab shuts that down. He goes, "Yes, I know. I did fight 4 times in a year, and my weight cut's hard, but that's no excuse. He was a better man tonight. He properly took me down. He knew what to do. He knew how to neutralize me. So respect for Marab, dude. He's humble. He knows it's hard to have someone call you, Peyton Talbot and a Shane Gillis relative, and then the very next day or a couple days later, him whoop on you, and you still give him the kudos and the props. So respect for Marab. I think you don't do the trilogy right away. I think Marab needs a rest, needs a break. You wait for. That's the thing, though. There's no clear cut contender. If you really want to, and you really want to use your UFC bias, you do the winner of O'Malley Yadong, because it's probably going to be O'Malley. So you do O'Malley Yan 2, which just works really well. And then you do Marab, like the Marab trilogy later down the line when he's recovered and he's taking some time off and he's healed and he feels better. Or you just run it back instantly. I don't mind. But I think what they may do is see how Song Yudong O'Malley does, where I think O'Malley's going to win because looking back, Song Yudong was barely beating Henry Cejudo, like he was ahead a couple strikes. I know he's on the same level as Cejudo, so it's a little bit easier, but dude, he does not look that good. Looking back, so how bad is Song Yudong? And then you go, well, how bad is Peter Yan? Yeah, to mix in grappling for Song Yudong striking. Shut up, dude. But I'm just saying, like, looking back at it, his win over Cejudo to get him to the O'Malley fight is not that good. Did not age that well. So I think O'Malley beats him. I think Umar's gonna beat Figueiredo, but that's in 325 now. Or is that on the prelims for 324? I don't know. Let me just do whoever wins in a more spectacular way, which could be Figueiredo. He could just flatline or it could be Umar. He could just flatline Figueiredo, but it may be O'Malley because I think he'll flatline Song Yadong. He's short. He's close to the ground. I think like a flying knee or something could probably knock out Song Yadong. So I think they'll do Yan O'Malley too, and then after that, then you'd have to hope that Yan wins. That's the thing, which in a 5 rounder, Yan probably does win. He pushed a crazy pace on Marab. He put pace on Marab, and I know he did that with body shots and keeping it tight and being defensively sound and not really doing too much explosive stuff. But still, he put a pace on Marab, dude. He beats Umar. Yan beats Umar. Yan beats O'Malley. So you can run the trilogy, but I think they'll probably run the O'Malley rematch, then the Marab trilogy, and I think Yan beats both again, and then you do the Umar fight, and he beats Umar. I don't know who, and then you can do the Sandhagen rematch, and then maybe Sandhagen. I can honestly see Sandhagen giving Yan some problems though. He may beat Sandhagen in the rematch, or Sandhagen may beat Yan in the rematch. I'd have to do some careful consideration. Depends on how many people he's beaten before the Sandhagen rematch, but but very impressive stuff. Great card, 9 out of 10. The only reason it's not 10 out of 10 was because of the co-main and the referees stoppages. But besides that, amazing card, dude. Great way to end off the year. I said it's a beautiful way to end the ESPN era. Perfect send off. Only thing that wasn't perfect was the Van winning the belt via awful freak accident. But I went 7-4, 14, really 7-13. So what is that? I went 10-14. Then I went 9-14. Now I went 7-14. 14 is 28. What is 28 plus 14, that's 30. So 26. Remember 26. 26. 26. 26 over 42. Ooh, barely a 62% pick rate. Barely. Well, hopefully I can end off this year with better than a 62% pick rate, but kind of fumbled it with these last couple cards. It did really good on 322 though. So just watch that back because I did really good on that. But great card, amazing card. I streamed for 7 hours by myself. There was one guy that came in the beginning. If you watched the shout out, dude, we actually talked. But I had like 60 views on the stream. And like no one said a word, dude. Come on. Chat up, pal. Chat up or shut up. Okay? Get your chats in. But yeah, great card. Don't be funny, make some money. Buy the numbers. Sayonara. I'm gonna wait.